Don Walker! Everybody, Don Walker!
Thanks, guys. I appreciate all the love. It's kind of weird to get all of it, but I love it. Thank you.
Okay, so the deal closed. Like, you got paid, right?
I got paid yesterday. We're still dealing with one problem with the title company, but it's something we're fixing tomorrow. So Molly's a rock.
What's the problem?
Title doesn't want to record the performance deed, and we're having to amend the addendum. And so we're going to send that out tomorrow. Molly's on top of it, and so is Allison. So I messed up from the beginning. I made a mess, and I didn't realize that it wasn't proper to hold back on the performance deed and offering that. I just heard it so many times during the Zooms. I was like, yeah, we can do this, right? So that's a learning lesson for me because it does create quite a bit of problems, sounds like in Texas, with title companies. So it makes a lot of sense to me. I'm still trying to piece it all together, but I think we're good. The seller's happy, and she was excited that she got her $3,000. So she wasn't expecting that, so it was good. So
tell me the story. Tell me the bunnies. I want to know the bunnies.
So a baby elephant brought this to me, and at first they went
What's a baby elephant for the people who are brand new?
A baby elephant is someone that comes to the Elephant Challenge that is brand new, doesn't know hardly anything about real estate, or they just have struggled to get anything started in their real estate business. So they come to the Elephant Challenge. So I am leading Zooms in the Elephant Challenge. So Scott Bottomley is the elephant, and he first went to Myron. Myron said, hey, go see Dawn. So I said, yeah, well, let me see what I can do. Come to find out, it's an agent that's selling her own home that's leaving Texas to go to Atlanta. So she's like, I'm done. I just want to be done. It's like, okay, great. So she said yes to the deal after the first call that I had with her. Scott did a great job teeing it up. And so sent her the contract. The next day, she responds and says, after talking with my broker, I decided not to go through with the deal. I was like, oh my God. Well, that's not the end of it. On Saturday, my partner, Mike, sees a post in Subto that says, hey, one of my family members is having a hard time selling her home. She needs some help. Can somebody help? Turns out it was the property that I was helping with. And so I was trying to reach out to this Subto student, like, oh my gosh, I don't want him to think that I was going around him or that I was trying to circumvent anyone, right? So I was trying to get a hold of him. We didn't end up talking until later on Sunday when he responded, but I already had a phone call set up with the seller again for Monday. Well, then on Monday, I talked with the seller. She said, yeah, my broker didn't know what she was talking about. She thought you were assuming the loan. I said, oh, no, we're not doing that. So that's when we go into how is she protected? What happens if you default? Well, that's when I, as a knucklehead, offered to do the performance deed without even explaining to her the deed of trust.
Hold on. A couple things I want you guys to listen to. All you new people, by the way, Dawn, how many mistakes do you think you made in this total? I'm gonna give you the first one.
There's at least 25.
Perfect. It's a requirement, guys. Mistakes are a requirement. It is the soil in which your learning will sprout from. The more shit that is in that soil, the healthier that seed becomes.
Yes, I agree.
Sorry for saying shit, for anybody's anti-shit. It is the manure. Somebody's like, Pace, you could have said manure. It is the manure in your soil, and that is where the seed sprouts from. It is impossible for you to be successful without the manure. For the people that are like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to avoid all the mistakes, oh my gosh. Just avoid being a business owner. It's 99% mistakes. You know what's great? Here's the statistic, okay? Out of 100 people that think about taking action, 10% take action. Out of the 10% of people that take action, 10% of them take consistent action. And out of those 10%, those are the successful people. Action requires mistakes. So I'm going to tell you guys the first mistake just real quick, okay? The first mistake she made, maybe she didn't know this, and this is the good practice you have to go through, okay? Now she has experience, she has a story, she has a feeling inside of her that stuck with her. What are the 3 reasons why a seller will say no to you on Subto or seller finance? What are the 3 reasons? Number 1, they don't understand how it benefits them, or they're confused at how it benefits them. which typically comes when you're brand new and you're like, oh, this person wasn't open to sub 2 and their broker destroyed the deal. That's not what happened here. But when Don Walker got off the phone, Don Walker, Texas Ranger, okay, Don Walker got off the phone to that broker and she's like, gosh, dang it. I got a seller who's like ready to go, but the broker destroyed the deal. Was it actually the broker? No, it was that Don Walker needs more repetition on how to explain the difference between assumptions and subject to. That's what actually killed the deal in the very beginning. And then the universe is like, oh, hell no. We are giving this girl a second chance at bat. How freaking dope is that, Dawn?
It was amazing, but I went for 3 strikes. That's what happened at the end of this. So
okay, I got to hear this then. We haven't even gotten there. This is great. So you already got strike 1.
And so
God gave you a second at bat.
Second at bat.
And then so you got back in touch with the seller and you said, no, we're doing sub 2. Here's the difference. And then the seller's like, oh, okay, awesome. Let's move forward. Now keep going. I want to hear strike 2.
So what I did after this phone call, I said, great, let me schedule a time with me and my TC for all of us to walk through the contract. Would that be okay with you? So yeah, let's set it up for tomorrow at 10 a.m. because she had to work that evening. Said, perfect, gives me plenty of time to make sure it's all correct. So we set up the time. I got the TC on the phone.
Who's the TC?
It was Katie Holmes. She was amazing. And I became an asshole and asked so many questions of her, and she just followed through with it. It was amazing. So if you guys need a TC, reach out to her. Then we get ready for the phone call. And so I talk to KT, get her on the phone. Then we get the seller on the phone. Well, we're both ready to go to walk through it. Well, as an agent, she wants to keep things a little close to the cuff. She wants to be able to have her time to go through the contract, which I understood because she's like, no, I'm good. I'll just read through it because she's already seen it before. She just wanted to make sure everything was still there as we put together the first time.
Yeah. And which is really tough because agents are trained to do this for their clients, their whole career. Like, don't just get walked through a contract and get closed. Like, give your seller or give your buyer plenty of time to talk through it and have a conversation about it, blah, 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 blah. So that's what she said. She said, no, I'm not going to walk through it. Just send me the contract. I'll do it myself. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened. I said, great. If you need anything, call me. If you have questions, let me know. I can get the TC on the phone if there's something I don't know the answer to. She said, okay, great. We hung up.
Real quick question. This is your first deal, so I want to give this some breath. How good did it feel to be able to say, let's get my TC on the phone instead of you worrying about all the stuff?
Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good because I was looking at this contract like I have no idea what all of this truly means. It's like you said before, it wasn't important to me in the moment when I was just trying to find a deal or find a lead until it became apparent that I needed to know those things. It was so much better that I had somebody that had the knowledge in the ins and the outs of the contract that I haven't been through yet or understood. So that took so much weight off of my shoulders. So guys, seriously, get a TC to help you when you are going through a deal. Even if you feel confident in understanding the contract, it's not about you understanding it, it's about the seller. So they're going to
also the credibility that comes from you being able to say, let me have my TC call you, right? Okay. That gives you, like, especially talking to an agent who has a broker, like, how legit do you sound when you're like, it's almost like you're saying like Grey Poupon. It's like, you're so fancy. It's like, let my transaction coordinator call you. Like, it's so legit to be able to have that opportunity. It also takes all the pressure off your back, especially you had a badass do your transaction coordinating. Mm-hmm. So shout out to her for doing a great job.
Yes.
But Brianna says, but realtors have TCs too. Yeah, exactly my point. Could you imagine if they are like, oh, you're doing the paperwork yourself? It's the opposite is true. If you come to the table with a real estate agent who is used to working with the TC and you come to the table to buy their house and you don't have a TC, it makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. It's just as bad, if not worse, right?
Right. And I even asked her at the beginning, I said, do you feel more comfortable using the state contract or does it matter which contract? She said, you can use whatever contract you want. So I was like, great, I'm going to use the sub 2 contract. That's the one I went with. So I get off the phone with her at 10 a.m. That's on a Tuesday. And I have my elephant Zoom at 11. So I'm on my elephant Zoom and I'm going through everything. It's on for 2 hours. 40 minutes in, I get a text message from the seller while I'm on this Zoom saying, hey, Dawn, I accepted a cash offer. I'm going to go with that instead. And I'm like trying everything not to cry in this because of
Hold
the
on.
frustration.
Did she sign your contract before this, or she still hadn't okay.
No. We had just gotten off the phone. She had not signed it. She was reading over it again.
By the way, shout out to this lady. I love this lady already because she told you straight up, like, hey, I'm going a different direction. Like, so many other sellers would have ghosted you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So shout out to that lady. So she sends you that text. How did you feel? What were you going through?
I sent her a text right back. I said, hey, I'm so happy for you. I hope this brings you a little bit more peace, because it was a quick option. She was leaving in, I think, 8 days at that point, no matter what, if she sold the house or not. So I just said, hey, I hope this is, you know, going to bring you some peace of mind here to go with that offer. If you need anything or you have questions, I'm still here. And I just left it at that. But I said, congratulations. It was hard for me, but I did it.
Great job, dude. Great job. Shout out Don Walker.
Thank you.
Are you kidding me? That is so hard on your first deal to be like that. Like, you want to be like, are you kidding me? Flame emojis and sending her gifts of like fighting agents and stuff like that.
I mean,
like,
to be that close, I mean, for a second time, I was like, dang it.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So that was done. Now, here's the thing. She was selling her home for $339. She bought the home last September. So it's a brand new conventional loan and she's already leaving. So the offer came in at $328 for cash. And I'm like, man, she's going to have to come to the closing table and pay money. But I didn't say that to her. I wanted her to just go with the option she felt most comfortable with. So the next day, I reached out to the family member that's in Subto, and I said, hey, man, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that you were related to her or that you were helping her. I didn't know she was talking to anybody else, but wanted to let you know that I wasn't trying to go around you, just being transparent. He goes, no, it's fine. It's totally okay. So a week goes by after that. I think I lost the deal. And so I let the baby elephant know, hey, man, this is what's going on. Just updating you. Sorry, it didn't work out on this one. Hopefully on the next one. And he said something that I should have paid more attention to. He goes, well, you never know. I said, you're right. We never know. But I didn't hold it with a grain of salt. A week later, at 7:30 at night, I got a text message from the seller saying, hey, Don, my cash buyer fell through. Are you still interested? I was like, I said, yes, I am. And what happened? I'd be happy to help. So we get on the phone. I start talking to her and she goes, at this point, I don't care. I don't even care if I get $3,000 like we talked about last time. You can just take it. I was like, okay, well, I think I'm going to honor giving you the $3,000 because that's all you wanted. So why not? Let's just do that. So I said, I'm just going to rewrite
I'm
the
so
contract.
freaking pumped right now. Dude, you freaking straight up, like that text message on the way you gave her love and the way you respected her and said, hey, I hope this gives you peace, dude. Oh my gosh, it left the door wide open, Don.
It did. And just so you know, there were so many people between the last like 3 or 4 weeks that this has been going on. I reached out to Angie Milizano, who talked with me for like an hour and a half because I was freaking about something going on in the contract or how to explain something, what I was missing, what I didn't. So Angie, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Mike Jackson, my partner.
I love Mike.
He spent 3 hours. Him and I were trying to put the first contract together really quickly to get it over to her the first time. And he spent all afternoon with me trying to make sure that got done. And he was just there from start to finish. And I couldn't ask for a better partner. So, and then however many people I talked to, this family is amazing. Just so you guys know, if you're new, this is what relationships are for. I could reach out to Carolyn and Myron. I can reach out to Angie Milizano, Mike Jackson. I mean, the list goes on about the people that I talked to in between trying to understand and piece things together. And they all were there. They didn't get upset with me. They didn't get like, oh my gosh, you're asking me this again. Just go watch a Zoom video. They took the time to answer my questions and to bring me back down to earth when I needed it. Please leverage the people around you, because without any of them or all of them combined, this wouldn't have gotten done.
And so also, more importantly, be one of those people that can be relied on in moments like this, okay? Be one of those people. By the way, shout out Robin Hurt. I'm telling you, one of the best seller calls I've ever heard in my life, Robin Hurt did the other day. Unbelievable. I'm going to release it like probably in the next week. Dawn, you networked with these people, go to meetups, become friends with them. And even though you're like, hey, I'm still going through my journey of trying to figure this out, you didn't let that stop you from reaching out, asking what other people in other when I was in other mentorships, it's like, don't bother me, dude. Go watch the recordings. That's why like people ask me a question. I go, hey, just so you know, I did do this in a 2-hour Zoom, but I will give you a 1-hour answer.
Yeah.
Because I know people need the answer right now. So
Yeah.
dude, shout out to freaking Mike Jackson and Angie Milanazzo and Carolyn and Myron, the leaders of Dallas. Like, and Dawn, dude, you are a leader in Dallas. Like, it doesn't matter that you haven't done 100 deals. Like, so many people have gotten so much help by you just being around. So you deserve this. So you guys go to close escrow. Who do we close escrow? Scott Horn?
No. So that's the other part of the story. So I get under contract, right? After the third strike, I got under contract. Well, the seller calls me the next day, or I'm talking to her about something on the property. Like, she left some property there. She already gave me the keys. She gave me the keys. She left on the 10th. So she goes, yeah, go ahead and do what you need to do. Gave me the keys, which I can mail to you if you want them, or I can just keep them. She said, hey, somebody just texted me the guy that the other sub 2 student who's related to her had introduced another sub 2 student. And she goes, hey, this other guy is texting me. And I go, oh, okay. She goes, well, wait, did he send me a contract? And I'm like, wait a minute, what? I was like, did you sign 2 contracts? She was, as far as I know, only signed 1. It's like, okay, can you give me that person's number so I can give them a call and just see what's going on here? She goes, yeah. So she sends me the number, get on the phone, and it's Zach Shelley. Him and Scott Horn were going to buy this together.
Wow.
Then you said you were going to buy it. I was like, cool. So Pace is going to buy it. This is it. This is great. But I had to have a conversation with Zach. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you were involved as well. So this, this is how it goes. When did you start talking to her? I just want to make sure that we're both good. And he goes, no, you got it. You're fine. I was like, okay, are you sure? He goes, yeah, it's good. So the seller, that I let her know that, you only signed 1 contract. You're fine. It's all good. She goes, okay, great. She asked about the family member that's a sub 2 student. She goes, well, I really would like him to be involved. Would you be okay with that? I said, absolutely. I'll put him on our JV agreement. So I have the baby elephant and the other sub 2 student on the JV agreement. So, because it made her happy as the seller. And I was happy to do that. So I added him in there with us.
My gosh, I'm going to sleep so well tonight. When are we doing another deal?
As soon as we can, but I promise it won't be for 17 grand this time.
That didn't bother me at all.
Well, after the conversation you had about the horrible rate with Kevin on one of the sub 2 deals and, going over when something doesn't cash flow the way it should, then you shouldn't be asking for such a high assignment. To be honest, I just picked a round number at 20 grand as the entry fee. It just was like, here you go, because I didn't want to do the math. So I didn't even realize what I had put for the assignment until I did the math after it was all done. But yes, I will make sure that it's kosher next time.
It worked out.
It did.
I didn't make a comment to you about your entry fee at all. All I said is when you sent me the deal, I said, I don't love the interest rate, but I'll buy it.
Oh, you said horrible rate. Like,
yeah, what was it? 5% something?
And I was like, okay. So, but no, I'm super thankful that 1, I got the proof of concept, and 2, that I got to do the deal with you. I'm so grateful for Molly and Allison and every person that helped me on this and talked to me and was a part of it. And for Zach and the other sub 2 student that's related, that we all got to work on.
Zach's fine. Zach and I had done deals. He's made a lot of money. He's fine.
Yeah,
I was with Zach Shelley in Dallas and we were having dinner together. He goes, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should go work for Scott Horn? I go, yes. And it's funny that ended up being the person that's competing with us on the deal. That's funny.
Yeah. So I realize I have a lot that I need to go back and unpack and learn and do all my research from the vault. But I will be better about the performance deeds in Texas and understanding that a little bit better.
Dude, you don't need to do anything except just go get another deal.
I do.
You learn all your lessons by being involved in a deal. That's it.
I do. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, think about this. You've been in sub 2 for a while. You learned more on that deal than you did in probably the whole year.
Oh my gosh.
And
so much.
You had more information go in one year and out the other, and you probably retain 10% of it, of all the things you learn. But on this deal, it was like hammered into your brain. You will never forget any of these lessons, which is amazing. And more importantly, now when you go do the next deal, you have a third-party story to tell about, oh, the last seller that we did, or the last thing that we did, and the last title company, and my title company. All the vernacular and the terminology changes. Dude, like, forget about the money that you made on the deal. I'm so excited for you.
Here's the other thing I wanted to tell you. I found out last week, she goes, hey, I'm actually a broker in Atlanta. She has to go, she's transferred her license she's doing nursing, but she needs to go back through it. And I said, you know what? My partner on this actually loves Atlanta and he would love to do deals. She goes, actually, I want to learn how to do what you just did. And I go, what's that? She goes, how to assign. I was like, I'd be happy to show you that.
So she saw you assign the deal to me.
Yep. And I was upfront with her about it. I told her from the beginning, I was like, look, on this, I would say, hey, either I'm going to assign it, I'm going to put my own renter in it, or I'm going to wrap it to somebody else. And she goes, okay, that sounds great.
Dude, I'm so proud of you. Great freaking work.
Thank you, Pace.
Now are you going to take that money and go buy a Ford with it?
No, you said you wanted to use part of my assignment to go and invest in one of your Gator deals. So that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of Gator stuff that comes my way. Turn some of it down and hand it over to other people. I'll give you one of those deals.
Turns out I got 17 grand burning a hole in my pocket.
Oh my word. So freaking cool. Dawn, anything you have to say to new people that are just starting out?
Number one, don't give up. Number two, you don't have enough friends. You need to talk to more. Number three, if you have a problem or you have a question, it has been answered, but you need to talk to the right people or you need to go find it. I can't tell you how many people that have poured into me over this last year. I joined in March of last year. My first event was at Clever Investor, and that was a whirlwind. But it's more the relationships that I've made that have gotten me to this point and that have given me so much that all I want to do is give back in the same way they poured into me. I may not be where the biggest leaders are in our group right now, but I will be. But I'm only teaching from my experience and what not to do and what you should be doing. So if you ever have any questions about that, or you need someone to be able to reach out to and you don't know who, ask me. If I can't answer it, I'll point you in the right direction of who can. So
that's cool. Brad Lewis says, you gave me my confidence.
Yeah, I made him make his calls. That's what I did.
Freaking amazing. By the way, guys, do you see why we work so hard on community? Yeah, I never wanted this to be a mentorship. I always, from day one, a year before we launched Subto, I wanted this to be a community. Always. Guys, if you need to reach out to somebody, you're brand new, Dawn Walker just did her first deal, right? Get on the phone with her, connect with her for 10, 15 minutes. Okay. Love on her. Give her some freaking love. Go in the Facebook group and go, Dawn Walker. Thank you, Dawn. You're awesome. Great job. $17,000.